some of the things that are remaining the same. We're still going to be the Jaguars. We're still going to have red as our color. That's not changing. Contrary to some of the things I've been hearing on the street, the community is not required to burn their UHV T-shirts and their UHV polos come September 1.
Who would do that?
It's been asked.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Town Talk. Guys, it's time. It's officially official, and we've brought in the man himself, Dr. Nelson from A&M Victoria. Tell us more about your role, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And just to get it right, we're going to make sure we say this right. It is Texas A&M University Victoria.
Yes, ma'am.
Contrary to popular belief, right? It's Texas A&M University Victoria, and A&M Victoria for short.
That's right.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to toss it over to you. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're up to.
I'm Jim Nelson. I'm a civil engineer by background. Been that for a whole bunch of years. Current position, I'm Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs up within the A&M system. And since the 28th of April, I've been kind of tasked with the on-site coordination, the development, the transition, new degree programs, all that coming in for what on September 1st will be Texas A&M University Victoria.
I know, so exciting. Well, it's been long overdue to have you here on the podcast, really. But I've met you a few times at the chamber.
We have.
Yes, so it's so good to have you here. Welcome. Hope you enjoy this format and the combo.
It's going to be fun. Talking about the transition, that's kind of like talking about our children and pets. There are no end to the stories and what we're going to tell.
It really is. I'm telling you, everyone who's come on since the whole announcement was made, we couldn't help but talk about it. So I'm very excited to have you here to learn all about the next steps. But first, we do have to say a special thanks now that it is official. Of course, I want to come back to thanking Senator Lois Kolkhorst, who helped author the bill. It's SB 2361, just so to be clear, in case you're all wondering, what was the context? I hadn't been following it, the legislature. And then it was also sponsored in the House by Representative A.J. Louderback.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, of course, signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott. So I wanted to give a shout out to all of those individuals who helped make this happen.
Without their support for a long period of time, it would not have happened.
And then, of course, former Chancellor John Sharp, who has some ties to Victoria, right?
He represented this area as a state senator.
He did. So very cool. And I believe I learned he's from Victoria County.
Yes. Yeah.
How neat is that? Yeah. So thank you to everyone. Just very excited to learn more. So I'm going to toss it over to you, Dr. Nelson. What is next for A&M Victoria?
The next thing, my recommendation is buckle up your seatbelts because things are happening fast and they're moving. Some of the things that are coming forward right now is the logos and all that stuff. After the 1st of August, you're going to begin to see more and more of those that are coming out. And again, as you said, we're A&M Victoria or Texas A&M University Victoria. Some of the things that are remaining the same, we're still going to be the Jaguars. We're still going to have red as our color. That's not changing. Contrary to some of the things I've been hearing on the street, the community is not required to burn their UHV T-shirts and their UHV polos come September 1.
Who would do that?
It's been asked.
Oh, that's too funny.
Well, not burn them, but
I know. They're metaphorically speaking. What do we do with this stuff now?
Are we still allowed to eat more? Well, I mean, when you wear your Purdue shirt or your Michigan shirt, we're not going to, ban you from campus. But, that's there. So, that's all going. The athletic side is continuing on. Looking at some new degree programs that are coming in, which is part of that legislation. I think a piece of what drove it. The big ones in no order of importance are aviation. That's been approved. That's happening. We're putting the final touches on that right now. That'll probably have a soft launch, more on the aviation management side in January, but the whole aviation program, the management side, the professional pilot side will have a hard launch in August next year.
Got it.
I'm losing track of time, don't mind me.
It's a lot to remember.
That's going, and then also kicking off in fall 26 will be a program in agriculture related probably to agriculture business is the initial kickoff. We're looking at getting all those pieces lined up. We've got a external advisory council that has been put together that is really, helping us. What is the skill set? That's where my view on this as we go forward. Wearing this with you gearing this with us. And
Right.
I think, as I said this morning in another meeting, that we want to make this our university.
Right.
It's us and the community as our university coming through.
Right.
To do that, we need the community input. What is it that we need to be doing? And that's where, for the agriculture side, we've got a group of people who are in the industry that can help us define the skill set. We'll figure the courses out. But if we know what the skills are, what is it you need this graduate to be able to do for you?
Right.
We'll build it around that. And I think that is going to help. The same thing in engineering. That meeting will be happening later this month for the exact same question.
Wow.
Because really through this, and I think, you and I talked about it before, the goal of what we're doing here is really to get the local kids into school here, educate them here, let them get jobs here and remain. And we stem that. It's what often has been called the brain drain. Many of the employers in visiting us said, we're really tired of hiring kids out of Houston and Dallas. They come down, spend 3 years with us, 5 years with us. We train them. They're really productive for us. Then they up and leave. But if we can get the local students and the young men and young women to study here and go through, I think we'll be well served. Those are the big ones. So it's engineering kicking off a year later, fall 27, the agriculture-related program, fall 26, aviation, fall 26. And other than that, we're not doing anything.
Not too much. My goodness. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I wanted to, real quick, AJ, put it on State Senator Lois Colcourse because he breezed past that. We have a photo of her. And I wanted to say one of the things that she spoke on when she did speak here in Victoria about this topic. And it's another one that you'll hear our city manager Jesus talk about too, is from a city perspective, exactly what you were just saying, Dr. Nelson, about keeping and retaining local talent. That's a big deal for us in Victoria and the region surrounding Victoria. How can we better position ourselves to do that, to train them, equip them, and then retain them? And without a university, oh my goodness, the mothership, the monster that A&M is, and the resources you all have to our, petrochemical industry, for example. We've got 3 different plants here in the area. We've got Dow, we've got Invista. I know I'm forgetting some. But, those are big deals. And so, like you said, instead of bringing people from out of town, though that can still be done, why not train the locals here? And have the engineering or the aviation or the agribusiness programs that they can use to remain here in Victoria. So I love it. I've heard it talk. It's just full circle in how it benefits the economy here in Victoria.
It does, and it goes right back to forming the partnership that, we're in this together. This is our university, and that's where, some of the things we're talking about, and I've actually spoken with industry about it, and we want to begin to really close the loop on it, if you will, is, the kids need to earn money while they're going to school.
Right.
So can we, working with local industry, begin to get the students working, for different companies? Like if a communication major, for instance, if they work with Formosa in the PR department, begin to develop it, but start as a freshman, so they're immediately applying what they're learning in the classroom. It's not this abstract gobbledygook.
Right.
They're applying it, coming through. They see the progression. They see how they're growing themselves coming up. And at the end, it could be a very valuable employee.
Right.
Because, the employer knows that culture.
Right.
But it's this back and forth. And a piece of that, too, is we need to get out into the community. The senator talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
And it's educating both the parents as well as the students. And what are the opportunities?
Yeah.
What's it take to do it? It's not that big, scary university that, we often say, we're now part of A&M. Well, we really aren't. We're part of A&M system. The flagship is still the flagship. We're one of the regional campuses in the system, which kind of separates that big, scary piece away, that we've got some real advantages sitting here, smaller class sizes, more, direct contact with the faculty. We can kind of help and urge and go through more rapid engagement in school activities. All these things, aid the retention, aid to keeping us through, and if we can get some of the employment pieces, and also, I think it's going to help all the way across the board.
It sure will.
And that's a big one. You probably ask about just jump in on that. It's often talking about debt. Well, the statistic was cited yesterday that about half of our graduates are graduating debt-free. So even that is not a nasty, scary piece. Our tuition is remaining the same as we go forward, and we're, I believe, the second lowest tuition rate in the state. So everything is stacked up in the favor of the student coming through.
Absolutely. That's actually the question I was going to ask. Some people might think, and I said the mothership of A&M. What I meant is it's just a conglomerate of resources available to higher education. And it's, if I do say so myself, I'm an A&M grad 2012, so I have to brag about just how excellent it is, and how amazing of an opportunity it is to be a part of that institution and have access to the administration, to the resources, to the academic programs. And so for me, it wasn't scary at all. In fact, it was very enticing. And so I'm very excited for what economic benefits and impact it's going to have here in our region. But the question I was going to ask you is, some people might think, oh no, is my tuition going to change because of it?
No.
And I knew that was what it was. So I wanted you to clarify that for people.
Right now, tuition may rise in the future, but it is not happening in September.
Oh,
it's
great.
going to stay just the way it was.
Right.
But the only difference people are going to see is instead of a UHV on the buildings, they're going to see an A&M Victoria on the buildings.
Right. And a few more programs, it sounds like.
And a few more programs coming in. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, I think I touched the mic there. One of the other questions I wanted to start to kind of shift to is, September 1 is when it becomes effective.
Yes.
So you've been working so hard to get the transition made official. So what can we expect next, in the area of community engagement, maybe some events? How can this community celebrate?
Well, a couple of things coming up. First, we're going to start, to see the change. The logos are going to start to come out more and more as things that, impact life after September 1st. We're going to start using that logo during the month of August. So you begin to see some of that going on. The whole week of September 1st, really Labor Day week, is going to be a bunch of campus events with the students. We'll be swapping T-shirts out with them. There could be food trucks. A lot of things are, in the works right now. The big event is going to be down in the square, September 4th from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's really a family community event. Everybody come on down, bring grandma, grandpa, the pet dogs, the whole crew with. It's going to be music, fun and games, some presentations and things. It's going to be a fun night. It's intended to be a community night, a family night. That's the big one that's coming up right now.
I literally just heard about it today from one of our city's departments, JagFest, right?
JagFest.
Kind of hosted by A&M Victoria and the city of Victoria, right?
Yes. Yep.
Very excited to learn more about that. I think I've even heard whispers of, I'm just going to say it, Mother Cluckers being part of it, having all their vendor booths. They always bring a ton of vendors, so I'm hopeful for that this year.
There's going to be a bunch of surprises.
Very much a lot for the family to enjoy. And really, it's all in the spirit of celebration and helping welcome in the transition of our local university, right, in Victoria. So very excited.
Our university, and that's what's important.
Right.
As we kind of joking before we started this, it's be on the square, be square.
Yeah, I love it. I said that should be our tagline. Dash Dr. Nelson. Love it. Well, real quick, I want to switch gears to you real quick. So tell us, I always ask our guests to, we want to hear more about what y'all are talking about, but we want to learn about you too. So I don't think I briefed you for this, so I apologize if I catch you off guard, but we just want to know a little bit more about you, maybe a fun fact that you like to share about yourself. We're switching gears.
I don't know how much you want to know. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago.
That is interesting.
Yeah, out in northwest suburbs. Had a love affair with Texas. So I was about 8 years old. I actually built a wooden horse in the basement, which wasn't too good, but that's another whole story.
It was a sign.
Yeah, it wasn't too stable. But no, I'm a civil engineer by background. Got my bachelor's degree at University of Dayton. All my graduate work at University of Houston. When I came out of school, I went to work in industry in Houston. This is back in 1974. That's I think when I graduated.
Yeah.
Went to work in Houston. Spent several years in industry.
Sure.
Then started teaching in parallel with that, both at UH and then. My master's advisor got me to come down to A&M Galveston. Started teaching down there, and that's ended up in the A&M system. Just often joke, I just woke up one morning and I'd gone from industry side over to the academic side of the house. But I've been teaching for a bunch of years and all that. Right now, a lot of my outside work's all been in the marine industry. Worked with the Coast Guard as part of the delegation to the International Maritime Organization for life-saving appliance work. married a cute Texas girl 44 years ago.
See, Texas was always in your destiny, it sounds
truly
like.
Was.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fun
too
fact
cute.
coming out, have you ever seen the movie, I can't think of the title, it's one of the Hallmark movies where...
Oh, it's one of the Hallmark, probably.
The unruly girl, and, she comes in and
Is that y'all's
retrains
story?
it. Well, sort of. In the beginning of that thing, which Karen's my wife, we joke about it. She runs into him with she was a hotel maid, runs into him with the cart and trying to apologize. She holds up the thing that says sewing kit, and then he references that at the end of the movie.
That's
and,
too cute.
Not I met my wife. We're going over and picked him up, and she came bouncing out of her room and said, "Hi, I'm Karen." That's where I joked that you had me at "Hi, I'm Karen."
That is too sweet. That actually reminds me of a movie. It's Jennifer Lopez. Anyone over here? Ladies in the room, y'all know which one I'm talking about, and you probably know too if you're listening. And your girl. It's a great movie. But thank you for sharing. My husband and I met here. Just quick fact: I graduated from A&M 2012, moved back to Victoria, my hometown. He was from Alabama. Dow Chemical. Shout out Dow as a local industry here. They're probably listening. I hope to gain some benefits from A&M moving into Victoria.
And we visited with Dow.
There you go. I figured. And he got recruited to come to Victoria's, kind of operation. And so we met at church, and then history took it from there.
Yep. You never know.
You never know. Well, coming back to the whole transition, one of the last questions, and then you feel free to tell me more, that I had for you was you have a presidential search underway. And so I'm curious, when did it start? How is it going? And kind of, are there going to be any other searches that you guys are going to be looking for here specifically in Victoria?
Yes to all the above.
All right.
The presidential search kicked off about 3 weeks ago. The way A&M conducts its searches is really a closed search because the general feeling is you get better candidates that way who don't really have to let anybody know that they're out looking and
right.
all the issues that roll in with that. So that's going on. It's moving forward. Not many details are coming out at this point other than that I guess you could call it a town hall that was occurred to let folks weigh in on ideas. That's there. The kind of the target, if you will, is have the sole finalist named sometime in the October time frame. After that, there's a 21-day statutory waiting period before it can be done. Then the Board of Regents will vote on that individual to become the president. The expectation is that individual will be in the office on January 1st.
Wow.
We're not going to give them a holiday. They got to start January 1st.
Yeah, good.
But that's going. Behind that, they're just, with the transition for a whole host of reasons, there are a number of interim positions. So what we'll do then is start the search to begin to fill those. But we want the new president on board first. So he or she can begin to weigh in because a lot of those higher level ones will be really the president's cabinet coming in. Right. So that individual needs to, have a voice within that process, and then it'll just work its way back down, through the open positions that are there.
Well, good luck to y'all search. I know that's a big one.
Yeah.
Very excited to learn more about that.
As we can give you details, we will. And,
well, we're going to have you back. If I haven't said that on the program when we're recording, we're going to have you back.
Yeah.
So,
but as of right now, I've told you everything I know about the presidential search. It is really a closed search coming down through.
Sure. Good.
You have more questions?
Oh, gosh. Anything else you want to share? Honestly, it's not so much me questioning, but I do have a bunch of information up here in front of me if you wanted me to kind of go through y'all's new FAQ website.
Yeah, let's go through and make sure we hit the things that you and your audience want to hear about.
I know you talked about, sure, this is very helpful, by the way. Shout out to whoever put this together. We have some guests here in the room, by the way, some former UHV staff or currently UHV staff, and so I'm very excited to have you all here. It looks like the colors will remain, I think we said this, but a little bit more in depth, red, black, and gold.
Yeah.
And the jaguar,
yeah, will
remain our mascot.
Yes.
But he might get an updated look. Wink, wink.
Potentially. He'll have a little new fabric. And
sure.
But the jaguars remain the same. We made A&M San Antonio an offer to change their logo. They're also the Jaguars.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah. So we got two in the system.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is kind of different, but we're still the Jaguars. We're still going to have fun. It's going to be a part of what we do. It's part of the culture. The Jaguars on campus will the statues will remain there.
Right. Only the Texas A&M University and College Station will remain the Aggies.
They'll
just
be
for
the Aggies.
clarity.
Yeah, we will
They're
not
the
be the
only
Aggies.
campus
Correct.
that's the Aggies.
Yeah.
And so we will remain the Jaguars.
And we're not going back to the colors that's often asked, we are not going to paint everything maroon. Really, the different institutions really have their own colors coming through.
Right.
The flagship is maroon, no question.
No one else can use that color.
But, we're going to be the red and those colors that, Brittany and her teams put together. East Texas A&M, and I still want to say A&M Commerce, but East Texas A&M, they've got blue in different colors.
Right.
Tarleton State, they are purple. Everything. So, they've got their own culture, their own distinction, their own flavor coming through, which I think is good.
Yeah, make it your own.
And as we go forward, wrapped around that, we're going to be building our own culture here, our own traditions here coming in. But as we do that, we're not going to be forgetting the past 50 years. So it's really those 50 years brought us to where we are. It's been phenomenal growth. President Glenn in his tenure and the past presidents have brought us to this point. The planets aligned. Now go and become part of the A&M system, which is going to have a lot of advantages because A&M is a rural system. You look at where our campuses are located. You look at Victoria, and I think that just fits in perfectly.
Yeah, agree. Talking about the rebrand. Heard that the state is going to fund $25 million to things like, I guess, changing out the logos and, some of those things. But what else? Where else is that funding going to go?
A whole lot of places that this transition is going to be costly. Just you begin to think about it, the UH system was very centralized in a lot of its resources. The A&M system is decentralized.
Right.
So we got to break all those things away from UH system into A&M system, the pieces that belong there, then down into A&M Victoria. So, that's like student information system, all the endowment and all that record keeping, the HR system, the police departments have all got to change. So there's massive amounts of, things that have to be done there, and that's all costly.
Right.
It's all the name changes on the building. There's every time you look around, there's a UHV hanging in the building. That's all got to get changed out. Then it's just the small things. We had to buy a new website, a new URL. We had to get a new domain for email addresses all coming in. So these things all really begin to build up. So that money was really allocated for the transition. And that's statutorily now that's what we need to be using that money for.
Got it.
And the new programs come in too. It's the engineering is a piece of that. So to the extent we can out of this buy-in, we'll be using that to get the engineering, the aviation had already been funded, and get agriculture up and going.
Well, let me ask you this, AJ. Can you throw the image of the building back up here? Because we were just talking about all the logos that might need to be changed out. I was fortunate enough to work with UHV when, I guess, the system was building this, what we see here is University Commons. And then catty corner to it across the street, if you're looking behind me, is the STEM building, right?
Yep.
And so with these new degree programs coming online, I've been curious, how are you guys going to use the existing facilities? Will there be new facilities? How will y'all kind of build out your infrastructure or utilize the ones that are already here?
You should never ask a civil engineer a question like that because it will go on at length.
Does that get you excited?
Yeah. Just kind of looking at, go back to the previous picture a second.
Sure.
Just looking, this is one of the things we're looking at too. How much of this do we have to replace? So we've got the $25 million trying to be frugal, but you look, we got UHV on the tower, we got UHV on the building, we've got two stone walls that have got University of Houston and Victoria sitting there.
Right.
You go down a little bit, there's another whole thing that says University of Houston Victoria. Come down this way a little bit. Do we need it all? I think we got the idea. So we're really looking at what can we do, what makes sense where we are today.
Right.
Why that occurred that way makes perfect sense as the campus grew, but as where we are today, what can we do to change it? Then going back into the new buildings, there's a lot of work that had been done in space allocation and things previous to this. A lot of it ended probably a couple of years ago, give or take. We're going to be re-looking at all of that work, given where we are today. And again, the construction contracts have not been let, so this is the time to do
Got it.
We're going to look at where we are today, what's the space that we need going forward, how do we bring engineering into it, where do we begin to put that? So we're going to relook at all those spaces. There's some spaces that are probably underutilized. Can we begin to combine appropriate activities within those spaces to make better use of it and build it out that way? I don't, this point in the near term, like the next year, I don't anticipate any new buildings breaking ground and going up, but we're probably going to have to start to move forward on some of these other projects, and that's where whether we start this fall or not is to be determined. But when the new president comes in, what we want to do is have a nice, tidy package wrapped up to be able to hand that individual, okay, here's the things that have got a longer lead time. We've got this started. But at the same time, not bind that individual's hands as to, make decisions for them, because they don't want to, put their own thumb on the place, their own strategic initiatives, directions, how do they want to go. So it's trying to juggle all those pieces together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, what else, Dr. Nelson? I'm looking here at y'all's webpage, and of course, we've kind of already touched a lot of this. Oh, that's a good one. Merch. It will be slowly phased out and replaced with the new branding. So any idea on ETA? Winking over there at Brittany over here. Because I would have worn a cap today if I had new merch.
We would have had to talk to you about things ahead of time. You'll begin seeing some of it in August. It'll, January 1st, not January 1st, September 1st. Having issue with calendars today.
No worries.
Yeah. September 1st, it's going to be available. Like, some of the athletic things, we're going to have a game before September 1st, at the end of August. So to begin to see some of the new stuff, sitting there, but really September 1st, and it'll be available. One of the things going, which encourage everybody to use and participate in, is we want to paint the town red during that first week of September. So, local businesses, let's, get a lot of red, on the windows downtown. Let's wear our red shirts. Yeah. Let's wear our red pants, and just let's have red every place we turn around, especially when we do the event down the square on Thursday night.
That'll be significant. I just realized I wasn't talking into the mic. That will be significant because that's when school starts.
Yep.
Right. Yep. What's that date?
September 2nd is the first day of class.
September 2nd. I had to think about it because my son starts his school on the middle of August. So I forget. College students are a little later.
Well, and we're a little later this year on purpose. That normally it's that last week in August you start, and
maybe that's what was throwing me off.
I think that's what we've got to consider. Now, does this make sense to start the students enrolled in Victoria for 3 days, and then all of a sudden transition? We said, okay, no, for this one time, let's just go at the 2nd of September. It's right after Labor Day. Yeah. We'll just do it, and then we'll, next year we'll roll back to the more traditional schedule.
Okay, great. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. Now I know. Now I'm up to speed.
And that kind of pushes a lot of things. The whole calendar gets moved in a little bit deeper in December and stuff, but we can live with it once.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of students and when they return to school, I've been curious about what y'all are forecasting in the area of enrollment. What have y'all seen? Where are we at today? And what can we hope for, hopefully, in the future? That's kind of a tough question, I know.
Yeah, well, it is and it isn't.
Sure.
It's no secret that we've had declining enrollments for about 4 years.
Right.
There's no magic pill to swallow to get that turned around. There's some things that we're looking at, to begin to change that, getting the word out to students that typically have not been reached out to try and get to them. My goal, if we can achieve it, is to really just flatten the decline curve. Instead of continuing to drop, if we can flatten that curve. Right. We'll be happy. We're going to declare success. Or even if we nearly flatten it, that'll still be success. If we can turn the curve and start to come up, we're going to throw a massive party. Yeah. So that's where we're going. With the facilities that we've got on campus now, we can probably accommodate somewhere in the order of about 6,000, 6,500 students. So we've got capacity for growth. We're going to be emphasizing more of the face-to-face education here as part of the 2361 bill that the senator sponsored. The Katy operations and that are moved away from us and gone to the University of Houston. That's going. So with that change, we're going to be really emphasizing the face-to-face education here in Victoria. Now, there will still be distance ed. There'll be distance ed programs. It's not going to stop by any stretch of the imagination. But really focus on that. And that goes back to that hands-on, work with the students, get a very applied education, come to work. And this is an area where the community can help us, too. It's, we talked about a little bit ago, if we can get our kids employed within industry for like 15 hours a week is kind of use the student worker, phrasing for it, coming from campus, but just that kind of thing where they're growing to begin to see it, we can, retain them. Yeah. The other thing that's out there, which, some folks, start clutching their pearls and everything is it's only like 18% of the population have got a baccalaureate degree or post-secondary education. Which is below the state average, and the state's below the nation. But, from our standpoint, going back to how we can enhance enrollments, I look at that as an 82% opportunity. Yeah. We got 82% of the people we can reach out to and begin to come back and begin to go forward. Right. Talking with some of our industry partners, we're really, just because we're nimble and we're small and young, we can begin to work with them. So there's employees that say have come up through we'll just take Dow, for example, somebody that's been on the shop floor for a long period of time that has shown potential as somebody that, Dow would really like to move up into the management track. We can work with Dow to get that individual back onto campus, go ahead and get them a baccalaureate degree so they can advance to the next level and begin to move into that. These are some of the things that we're actively looking at, better partnerships with the high schools in the region. And the region is not just, this little box. I look at the region as this big box that, I'm not sure where the edges of that box are, but actually, probably a 100-mile radius around Victoria.
We're talking beyond Victoria.
Yeah, we're talking
surrounding counties. Yeah. Bring them in.
And there really is nothing. I mean, what's the closest we've got? University of Houston, Clear Lake, that's quite a ways away. We got Corpus Christi, which is still away. San Antonio is still away. Right. Kingsville, down in the valley. I mean, these are all, excellent schools.
Absolutely. And you said this is the number 2 most affordable in the state.
Yep.
In the nation, the state.
The state.
The state. That's still a big deal. So people need to remember that. I remember even when I was going off to A&M, I was thinking, that's going to be some money. So if anyone's thinking about, saving some money, you can do so here right in your backyard.
Absolutely. And we may be the nation, too. I mean, for a long time, you could go to, now this is going back a bunch of years, but you could go to Texas A&M as an out-of-state student at lower cost than you could do in-state education in many of your home state institutions.
Oh, I bet.
Now, we're going back like 40 years.
Sure.
In that, but no, and that's there, which, that's important.
That's amazing. Well, coming back to, again, having people come face-to-face, right?
Yep.
It requires interaction.
Yep.
It's a university, after all. You want people to come here.
Yes.
So how are you guys going to facilitate professors and, people to stay here on campus? And I know that's something that UHV always struggled with was, moving to Houston or working from Houston, traveling to and fro, or Katie. That may not be something you'll have to worry about as much anymore. But for us, from the city's perspective, and we deal with this with some employees too, we want people to stay here, to work here, to become a part of the community, because it spreads outward. The community sees it, then they reciprocate it. Yep. And it's just this full circle of support. And so I'm really looking forward to that with this transition as well, and seeing how it's embraced.
It's going to happen. It's going to be in many regards, it's going to be a culture change coming in. That, if somebody wants to live in Houston, commute down, we don't care. Yeah. It's kind of dumb in my opinion, but we don't care.
Right.
It's a lot of travel, but I think as the campus culture, the campus community begins to build out, the enthusiasm, the dynamic changes. As we said earlier, we want to really be a partner, with the community, so it becomes our university.
Absolutely.
And if that culture change begins to drive folks, I want to be here, I want to be a part of it. There's other things that are going on. Right. Any of the new hires, will be very clear. The expectations, we want you, within the region, we want to see you on campus on a routine basis. We want you visiting with students. We want you to, get out and have lunch with them. Right. Sitting out on the, on the patios.
Absolutely. Well, I can already see a list of things that you guys are coming up with to do just that.
Yeah.
Starting with JAGFest, September 4th. We'll put more information out as that event becomes finalized. Yeah. Of course, our Main Street program is going to be heavily supporting coordination with UHV and, of course, now A&M Victoria as well. And so looking forward to that. And so with that, Dr. Nelson, I just want to say thank you so much for your time.
I've enjoyed it. And I've got a challenge for you, though. Next time we get together and talk with us, paint your town red. I want to see a little bit of red here in your studio as we do this next.
You might see a little bit more A&M. AJ, that's a challenge.
Just a little shade of red.
There you go. You have a little bit of shade of red behind you.
Shade of red.
We're going to make it a little bigger. I'm excited. Well, thank you again so much for your time. And if you want to learn more, by the way, you guys, and you're listening about this transition, go to uhv.edu's website. On their homepage, scroll down, and you'll see the official announcement from the A&M system about the press release that they put out here recently, I think, right? About the whole transition. We've been talking about it since way before then, but it is now officially on their website. Go to the FAQs page that we hadn't seen. So that is new. Thank you all for putting that together. And you can read a little bit more if you don't like to listen to podcasts. We'll see.
And anytime you want us back, we'd love to come talk about it. Like I said, it's like talking about our children and our pets. There are no end to the stories and the discussions we'll have.
It's so exciting. Well, we'll definitely come all geared up to ready to celebrate with you. So thanks again for your time, Dr. Nelson.
Thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure and fun.
Yes, very much so. And we'll look forward to talking to you again next time.
Sounds like a plan, ma'am.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Town Talk. Check out future episodes at victoriatx.gov/Town Talk, or of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Spotify account. Make sure you hit that notification button to be sure that you get alerted instantly when our new episodes debut. You don't want to get behind. You want to stay informed, so make sure you do that. We appreciate your support. Couldn't do it without you. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you next time.